And all new tonight at 6, the findings of a Fox 5 I-Team investigation into Georgia's election. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Courtney Bryant. Since Election Day, our I-Team has been singularly focused on the integrity of our election and the accuracy of the vote count.
Yeah, they have spent the last week investigating reports of problems and have found evidence of only a small number of errors. Their findings come as Republican U.S. Senators Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue call on Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to step down, saying he did not deliver an honest or transparent election.
And today, the head of President Trump's recount team in Georgia, Republican Congressman Doug Collins, called for Raffensperger to conduct a hand count of all of the ballots cast in the election, about 5 million in all. Senior I-Team reporter Dale Russell sat down with Secretary of State Raffensperger as he defended the integrity of the election and the job he did. Dale?
And Courtney, the pressure against the Secretary of State continues to mount. The latest late this afternoon, this letter from Georgia Republican Congressman asking for Mr. Raffensperger to investigate allegations of irregularity in this recent vote. But here's the thing, he's already been doing that. The I-Team has been looking at some of the cases that have cropped up, including Spalding County. There were allegations that the system had been hacked. Mr. Raffensperger told me, no, didn't happen. McIntosh County, that dead people had voted. Turns out 2 people voted and then died. No problem there. And in Spalding County, allegations of voter harvesting. And again, the Secretary of State said they were able to get surveillance video cameras and look at the workers, and there was no evidence of any impropriety. So what does this all add up to? We asked him. Has there been systemic fraud in the state of Georgia?
We have not found any widespread, voter fraud.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger wants Georgians to know their vote was properly counted, and his office is diligently looking for any signs anywhere of voter fraud.
We have post-certified investigators. These folks, they can carry a gun. They're coming out of law enforcement. They've done, the types of investigation that you need. They know what they're doing, and they will investigate everything.
Raffensperger is fresh off the hotly contested presidential race in Georgia that shocked many when Democrat Joe Biden climbed into the lead and held on by a little over 12,000 votes as of now. Democrats were jubilant. President Donald Trump supporters shocked. Trump told his base through tweet after tweet the election was stolen. Not so, says the Republican Secretary of State.
I understand that half the people will be happy, half the people will be sad. But I want 100% of the people to understand that the process was fair and it was accurately counted.
Despite the mostly smooth election process in Georgia, yesterday, Republican Senators David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler issued a joint statement calling on Republican Raffensperger to resign, writing without any facts to back it up that his management has become an embarrassment for our state and that he has failed to deliver honest and transparent elections.
I was disappointed, and what I never like to see is our House divided, because as Secretary of State, my job is to make sure we have honest and fair elections. But also, as a Republican, as a conservative, I'd like to see our side win. But at the end of the day, you got to win fair and honestly.
Now, Mr. Raffensperger and some members of his staff have had threats of various kinds. He didn't want to talk about it, the specifics of it today, but we do know that there is extra security now in place in what is clearly very serious times in Georgia. Russ, Courtney?
Important reporting there, Dale. Thank you. You reported earlier this year about 1,000 double votes in the primary election uncovered by the Secretary of State. What happened to those double voters, and did it happen in this race?
Now, good question. We talked about that today, and that was an investigation done by the Secretary of State's office earlier this year. And what he told me is that no one has been charged in that case. They're still investigating. They found that in some of the instances there were mistakes made. And as far as this election, there are no clear-cut numbers yet, Russ, but we do believe that there's going to be far less double voting than took place just a few months ago, and far more votes.
All right, Dale, and as this process plays out, so many different things that are going on, when can we expect to get final election results?
There's still a lot to be done, Courtney. You've got an audit of the election that will take place. This was done through a House bill passed last year. Mr. Raffensperger was in support of this, and this is just routine. This is by law, so that was going to be done no matter what. And then also, obviously, if you have a candidate, and we believe or expect that to happen, that wants a recount, if you have less than 0.5% of the vote differential, and we're way under that, then you can have a recount as well. So we're not really expecting a final results, if you will, until February 20th, which is the deadline. Everyone would like to see it, I think, as soon as possible, but there's still a lot of work to be done in that Secretary of State's office behind me.
All right. Answers to questions that millions of Georgians have tonight. Dale Russell, thank you so much.